guys. So, is there anything wrong with telling someone older than you, hi, how are you, Kedu, hey darling, hey honey? Stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe and click the notification bell so you would know when we upload new videos. And if you're already a family member, thank you so much. We see you. We appreciate you. Dankeschön. Yes, you. Thank you. Okay, so today's topic is about greetings. How do an average Nigerian prefer to be greeted, especially if the person is older than the person greeting? You know what I mean? So the other day I was having conversation with my friends, and it kind of seemed like we had different opinions about how one prefers to be greeted, especially by younger ones. So it dawned on me that really the saying that when you go to Rome, behave like the Romans is actually true. And it will save us a lot of controversy if we try to apply that in our daily living. Because of course abroad, naturally, people just go around and tell every person they meet on the street, hey, how are ya? How are you? Hey, hi, how are you? Hello. It's not a big deal, right? But here in Africa or Nigeria is a little bit different. So say you meet someone that is 5 years, 10 years, 15 years or more older than you. The person, an average Nigerian, would prefer when this young friend or person says good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as against saying, how are you? Hi, darling. Hi, sweetheart. Hello. Or kedu, for example, in your local language. We see that as being rude. So as against saying that, it would be better you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Even if for any reason you're used to saying hello, hi, how are you? It's better when you say, how are you doing, auntie? You see, it changes it. So for instance, a 20-year-old sees me and says to me, hello, or says to me, how are you?
Jesus is Lord.
In my mind, I'll be like, what just happened right now? You know what I mean? I'll feel uncomfortable. I'm going to feel uncomfortable when a 20-year-old says to me, how are you? So I would prefer if a 20-year-old sees me and says, good morning, good afternoon, or how are you doing, auntie? Yes, I know I'm not the person's auntie, but we use auntie as a form of respect here. So I would prefer a 25-year-old say to me, how are you doing, auntie? How are you, auntie? Good morning, good afternoon. I would feel okay. Likewise, when I meet someone that is 5, 10, 20 years older than me, I would tell the person, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I would run away from saying, hi, hello, hey, how are you? Hey, darling. I will not say that. That cannot come out of my mouth. Yes, I've lived abroad, and I know it's okay if I go abroad and I say to people, hi, how are you? Even if it's a grandma, hi, how are you? They'll be like, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? You see, it's different. But immediately I come to Nigeria, boom, I won't see someone that is 5, 10, 20 years older than me and say, how are you? I would say, good morning, good afternoon. Or even if for any reason the how are you comes out, it's going to be, how are you doing, auntie? How are you doing today, uncle? And I even go further to say, I hope you slept well. It makes the person feel that, of course, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because the word how are you in Nigeria sounds a little bit disrespectful here. Yes, we know how are you is not disrespectful, but we perceive it differently here. And because we do, there's nothing wrong with us being sensitive, knowing that Nigerians have a different meaning to that how are you. So it's better you just run away from the controversy and say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or how are you doing today? Auntie, uncle. Yes, the person is not related to you, but uncle, auntie here, for us, is just a way of showing respect. I acknowledge that you're multiple years older than I am, so I don't want to call you your name. Even if I have to call your name, I could say Mrs., Miss. It makes it different. So let me play a scenario. Say the person's name is Kevin. I won't say, how are you, Kevin? I would rather say, how are you doing, Mr. Kevin? How are you doing today, Mr. Kevin? That's brilliant. That's okay. As against saying, how are you, Kevin? How are you, Adora? Ha! I can't say that. So I would be uncomfortable if a 20-year-old says to me, how are you, Uju? Hi, Uju. And then another one that is really very annoying is when you see a younger person come to you and say, hi, darling. I'm not your darling. Uju, I am not your darling. I feel a certain level of disrespect when a younger person says darling. I won't even tell someone that's 4 years older than me, darling. Hi, darling. Hello, darling. Hi, sweetheart. Like we are mates. We are not mates. So when I see you, I would greet you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If for any reason, how are you comes out of my mouth, what you will hear is, how are you doing today? Hope you slept well today, which I don't even often say, how are you anyway? But even if, let's say, I just said it, I'll be like, how are you doing today? You know, it's different. So let me play the scenario, both scenarios that I'm trying to explain. How are you, Uju? Or, how are you doing today, Miss Uju? Or how are you doing today, Auntie Uju? The second and the third, I don't have issues with them. But you see the first, how are you? I have issues with it, and I know an average Nigerian have issues with it. So as against you saying, oh my God, this person has issues with me, I don't know why anytime I greet her, she snubs me, she doesn't answer. I think maybe it starts with the way you address the person. The person feels that you're being disrespectful or you're being too bold, like annoyingly bold with the way you communicate. You start your greeting. The communication has not started. So if the person feels apprehensive with the way you greet, any further conversation from that greeting might not really go as planned because the person has an impression already about you. So as against feeling that Nigerians have issues, especially if you live and grew up abroad and you come back and you're saying that and you feel that people don't understand you, this may be the reason. And don't be stuck up in your ways and say, but where I'm coming from, we'll say how are you and it's not an issue. That place you're coming from is not Nigeria. Okay? And you know, a smart person is someone that is able to adjust, right? Where you're coming from, they say how are you and nobody picks offense. But here is as if Nigerians have issues with that word, how are you? Or hey darling, or how are you darling? Or hello, or kedu if you're Igbo. So if you notice that, change it. And then when you see someone older than you, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or how are you doing today, mister? How are you doing today, missus? How are you doing today, auntie? How are you doing today, uncle? It doesn't mean that we are difficult people. It just means that we have our own culture, and that culture is that we try to show respect. Like I have some Yoruba friends, when they wake up, they go to their parents and say, and prostrate and say, Ekalema, or Ekaso, Ekaroma, or Ekarosa. In my house, or an average Igbo home, we don't prostrate to our parents. Neither do we necessarily have to put sir. So an average Igbo home is you wake up in the morning and you go to your parents and say, Daddy, good morning, or good morning, mommy. Some people might even fortify it and say, Mom, what's up? And your mom might look at you and giggle and say, I'm very well, how are you? You see? But as soon as I moved to Lagos at some point, I realized that it's different. So when I go to my Yoruba friend's house, I will prostrate, Ekasoma, Ekalema. Simple. It doesn't take anything away from me. Nothing stopped me from saying, but I don't do that to my parents now or for my parents, so I'm not going to do it. No. If I don't do it, my friends' parents are going to have issues with me and they might not want their daughter to hang out with me, or my friend might even start avoiding me because she feels I'm not respectful. Or perhaps she might understand that my culture is different, but she feels that if I love and respect our relationship, I should be able to adapt when I come to her family home. It takes nothing. So when I go there, you see me doing what they do, just to show respect. And also sometimes when she comes to my house, because she's used to kneeling and greeting, you see her kneel and greet my aunties. And some of my aunties will feel, okay, what's happening? But I'll still make them understand that this is what she's used to. That's how she grew up and there's nothing wrong in that. You see? So we just have to be able to understand and know that in Nigeria, how are you is seen as being rude when you say it to someone older than you. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to click the notification box and subscribe, share, like, comment. Till next time, hang in there. The very best is next. Ciao.